Hello Bookish friends, welcome to my April wrap-up part 2. In this video, I will talk about the 4 books that I finished in the second half of April. And like I did in my previous wrap-ups, I will insert the clips that I recorded very soon after I finish those works. Today is the 23rd of April and I finished the book that I was buddy reading with Kristin at Enter the Book, which was Wiregrass by Pam Webber. We are reading this book in order to celebrate the life of Kristin's mother, who unfortunately passed away last year. This book was one of the books that she kept in her library. I proposed to buddy read this book because I really love a good historical fiction. In this book, we are following Nettie, a 14-year-old girl, in the summer of 1969. Like every summer, Nettie and her cousins spent their summer vacation in the southern Wiregrass region of Alabama. Cousins really enjoy love and care of Aunt Pitty, who opens home to them every summer. There's something strange about this summer. Strange going-ons raise suspicions for law enforcement and residents alike. Additionally, for Nettie, a chance meeting with a newcomer, Mitchell, awakens feelings that she's never had before. The cousins are actually quite a naughty gang. They really do like pranking the residents of the town. During one of these pranks, they realize there are some odd sightings near the house that they prank. While I was reading this book, I felt like I was in the hands of an author who really knows what she is doing. The writing and the structuring of the book was really good. The atmosphere and the descriptions of the environment, the wiregrass, the children, the hot summer, swamp, and the southern life was excellent. And it was done in such a realistic way. It also reminded me of the times that I spent my summers when I was a teenager in a seaside town with lots of my peers. So the appeal of the book was actually universal. Although there was a section towards the middle where I felt like the tempo could have been a bit faster. The tempo and the rising suspicion in the second half of the book was done really well. Ending was very emotional and I shed a few tears. And what's more, exchanging ideas with Kristin has always been a great experience, and learning that her mother has been raised in a similar environment really made me understand why this book was so special to her. And we shared our memories of how we were as teenagers with Kristin. So this was a very special reading experience for me. Overall, I gave Wiregrass by Pam Webber a 9 out of 10. Today is the 26th of April and I finished the book that I was reading for both category romance online book club as well as the readathon Amish in April, Grave Amy's Secrets by Patricia Jones. This book belongs to a love-inspired suspense series. It is actually the newest release of the author. In this book, we follow police detective Penny Moore. And when her Amish grandfather's body is found, she learns that her grandfather didn't abandon his family 50 years ago, but he was murdered. The whole truth is still unknown, and after some attacks on both Penny and her partner, Detective Stuart Jones, it is clear that someone is determined to keep the secrets buried. As she dives more and more into the case, she learns some hidden truths about her family, which really makes her reevaluate her look on life and also on love. I was very pleasantly surprised by this book. The book had a really good balance of romance, mystery, suspense, and also familial values, which are the themes that I very much enjoy in books. The main characters were also quite likable, especially the male lead, Stewart was close to a perfect male lead for me. The integration of the faith in this love-inspired suspense series was just enough to give us how Christian and Amish community works, but they were not preachy at all, which is something that I find very annoying in books, no matter what the subject matter is. Overall, I'm very happy that I read this book and I gave Grave Amish Secrets by Patricia Jones an 8 out of 10. Today is the 27th of April. I finished the book that I was reading for my yearly reading challenge, Go With The Flow, Fairest of Them All by Teresa Mederios. And in this book we meet Holly, who's rumored to be the fairest woman in all of England. But Holly thinks that she is cursed by her beauty because she really does not want to marry any of her numerous suitors. When she becomes the prize as a trophy bride among the suitors, she decides to disguise her beauty and come off as a very plain or even a very unattractive woman. However, she does not know that the Welsh suitor, Sir Austin, is actually looking for a very plain wife because his family is cursed by the rage of Gavonmore husbands who are jealous of their wives' very beautiful looks. I really enjoyed the first third of the book where Holly is disguised as a quite unattractive woman, and Austin gradually discovers that there is more to a woman than her physical beauty. But there is a certain point in the book in which the main characters acted very foolishly until the end of the book. Although there were some parts which were quite romantic, and I have to admit I enjoyed those parts, and that was the reason why I didn't DNF the book. It still was a very uneven reading experience for me. I was very annoyed at some parts. Fortunately, the ending of the book was much better than the middle part. Overall, it was a 6 out of 10 book for me. And I'm quite glad that I finished Once Upon a Time series by Teresa Mederios, which brings me closer to my goal of finishing as many series as I can in the year 2025. Today is the 30th of April, and I finished the last book that I was reading in the month, which was also the book that we have to read for my in-person book club, Tatar Çölü by Dino Buzatti. This book was translated to English as the Tatar Steppe, and in this book we follow Giovanni, an Italian commanding soldier. In the beginning of the book, Giovanni is a very young officer. He is appointed to the Bastiani castle, remote castle, as his first job. When he goes there, he sees that there is a desert on the other side of the border. It's called Tatar Steppe by the occupants, because it was rumored that the Tatars will come to Italy from there. At first, Giovanni thinks that stay in that very remote and boring castle will be very short. However, as the time passes on, he gets more and more comfortable in the castle, also with the hope of something very important will happen in this castle, and this castle will have a significant part in the defense of Italy. This book is actually one of the best written books that I have read. And the Turkish translator was also very efficient, and it showed the beautiful prose of the author. There are some quotes in the book that would actually be very popular in social media, which talks about a routine way of living and also the hope that never comes. The character's story was quite tragic. It was a significant example of how one can waste their life living with the hope of something that might happen in the future. It is actually a very good book for book clubs. However, I found the tempo very slow, which made me listen to this very short book in the period of almost 2 weeks. And also the character of Giovanni felt a bit meh and very colorless. It really diminished my enjoyment level. So overall, I gave Tatar Çölü, the Tatar Steppe by Dino Buzatti a 7 out of 10. Those were my thoughts about the 4 books that I finished in the second half of April. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video and what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. For Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose grave. Grave means mezar in Turkish and mezar is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.